Our next speaker, Michael Lazzaro, is the chairman and CEO of Buddy Media, the social enterprise software of choice for 8 of the world's top 10 global advertisers. A serial entrepreneur, Michael has co-founded 4 successful internet startups, internet-based media companies, and most recently led Buddy Media into a blockbuster year of growth. Today, he's joining us to talk about breaking down content barriers of social networks. Please join me in welcoming one of my favorite local CEOs, Michael Lazzaro.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Mike Lazzaro from Buddy Media. For those of you who are here, thank you for sticking around. For those leaving, I apologize. And how about a big round of applause for Mashable? Are they the best or what? I think everyone, I just love the Mashable people. They're very nice. And I was always told never to speak kind of late Friday afternoon. But here I am, and it's hard to follow Facebook, but hopefully you'll get a few things from this. So what I'm speaking about is basically how to use social media to grow traffic and revenues by 12.89%. Okay? If you don't want to grow it by 12.89%, do not do this stuff that I'm about to tell you. It's very dangerous. When we look at the media business, I think we all, like 2 years ago, were like, what do we do with Facebook? Like, what is this Facebook thing? But all of a sudden, like, everyone knows, even Edward R. Murrow. He's like, you got to get on this Facebook thing. And so, Mashable, a year and a half ago, which in the social media world is like 15 years ago, was pointing out to everyone, all of those in the room who are journalists, who are media companies, we have to be on Facebook. And, what's happened since I know we started the business, there were 30 million people on Facebook. When you think about it 4 years ago, which is crazy, it's 850 million now, active users. That's just not signups, that's active users. Like, we all kind of get that Facebook is huge. It's not only that it's big, but it's engaging, okay? 50% log in every day. There are not many things that people do in this world, like globally, all together. But Facebook's one of those things that we all do all over the world together. And when you think of that number, it's not only a big number and engaging, but it's 4 times the Super Bowl every single day, which is nuts. So 12 billion likes and comments monthly. Like, that's crazy. When we think about it, 12 billion of anything is big, but this is one platform just in the US, 12 billion likes. And there's now, and this is a recent phenomenon, there's now more searches on, there's more comments and likes on Facebook than searches on Google, which for those of us, reading the Fortune story or any of the stuff about Google versus Facebook, I think this number is a big one, that if you take all of the kind of comments, likes, all the social activity, it's actually bigger than Google. Now, it's 31% of all ad impressions in the US, which is, a very big number. And if Zuck had thought at the time that he was going to create a platform that was bigger than the entire internet, people would have said, you're crazy, right? Hey, I'm going to create one site, and it's going to be bigger than the whole internet right now. And, that's what's happened. So, media companies, brands, they've all gone to Facebook. So you ask brands, we did some research with Booz & Company, and 94% list Facebook as their top one. But still, there's Twitter and YouTube and all these other ones, which I'm going to talk a little bit about. And so we all agree we need to be on Facebook. But when you think about it, is it true? Do we have to be on Facebook? Do you have to be on Facebook.com? And I think we're at a time where we have to start asking, like, what is the mix of what we do social on our sites? What do we do on Facebook? And I think we're going to this post-Facebook world in terms of not Facebook as a website, but how does Facebook interface with everything we do in the world? So Facebook.com is the most pure implementation of the social graph, which is really the core of Facebook. And we're going into a phase where it's not just about Facebook.com, it's how can we take that social graph and do everything we do. And if you look at the ad impression number, 30% on Facebook, and you look at time spent, 16% of all the time spent online is on this one site. So you still have to be on Facebook. okay? But that alone won't maximize your revenues. And if you really want to move the needle for your business, and we're seeing it every day with all of our clients, you have to go across everything you're doing. So, as I look at it, the past 2 years have been on kind of the Facebook.com, and it's now time to focus on what I think is a bigger opportunity, which is outside of Facebook. So your websites and your stores, if you run retail, and everything that you're doing is, it makes sense. It's more important to you than your Facebook page. So how do you take what works on Facebook to your site, which is kind of some of the stuff I'm going to talk about. So the first time in the history of mankind, you're going to see kind of these 3 strategies to grow your traffic and your revenue by not 13%, 12.89%. So the first one, which I think we're still early in, is we have to get the foundation built. Okay, so you still have to, and this is, we kind of get it. You need your Facebook page and you need kind of your foundation set. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I feel like the Mashable audience is a very smart audience, and we know we have to be on Facebook. So if you look at kind of the most engaging magazines on Facebook, okay, they all have one thing in common, which is they've set up their presence. Okay, I'm not going to go too in depth with Playboy. You can do that later tonight if you want, but all Playboy did is said, we're going to set up the presence so we can kind of communicate in this two-way dialogue with our consumers. They're really an e-commerce company more than, a media company, and so they're fan gating. Okay, they're increasing the conversion from the normal 3% to 50% plus by putting that fan gate up there. They're collecting email addresses, so it's part of CRM, and it's part of everything you do. Now, if you're on the Playboy, Parents magazine, same thing. So free gift, like our page. You're still giving stuff away. You're collecting information. It's one part of this larger channel. And then, really anything you can do on the web, you can do on Facebook. So Facebook is really about the two-way dialogue. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But some programs work better on Facebook. So if it's about getting people to do stuff and crowdsourcing stuff and starting a movement, consider doing it on Facebook. Sports Nation, they're doing a ton of their voting and polling on Facebook because it works better on Facebook. So think about, what should we be doing on Facebook? And then obviously, it's about the two-way dialogue. It's about talking. It's about, where else can they get this many comments? If they post this to their website, they're lucky to get that many people to view it, right? And the good news about where we are is if we look at kind of all of the companies that Facebook uses as great examples, those of us in the media business are at a huge advantage. Okay, we have content. So Starbucks, they have 6.5 times the number of fans, but they're only getting 2.5 times more engagement than the NFL, which is similar to a lot of the media clients that we work with. Okay, so use that content to your advantage. You don't have to, brands have to be publishers. Publishers are publishers, right? So we're at an advantage. Now, we kind of know that stuff. That's basic stuff. Get it set up. Every one of your websites has dead ends. So when I say dead end, you come to the site, the user does something, and nothing happens. Okay, so the best example is you come to NFL.com right now, and you take a poll. Okay, so great, I took a poll. That was so fun, I took a poll. Like, I'm going to come back to take more polls. Like, people do. I mean, this one poll I grabbed Sunday because I knew I wouldn't have time to write this text. I grabbed it Sunday. It had 45,000 people who had taken it. Now, very soon, when you take that poll, it's then going to publish it back to Facebook. Okay, so how do you take those actions that people are doing? Not just the like buttons, not just comments, not just creating our own verbs. We're all verb creators, thanks to Facebook. We're manufacturers of verbs, which is fun. I don't know if you've manufactured verbs. But how do you expose it to Facebook so you're taking advantage of the feed, and most importantly, you're taking advantage of the new tools that Facebook gave us. Okay, so those tools being kind of the profile apps and getting into the timeline. It's getting into the ticker. So we're seeing the number of impressions go down in the news feed because a lot of stuff's happening in the ticker, but engagement going up. It's just because the ticker, that's the Twitter-like functionality on the right side. And so as people engage with it, this is your viral traffic. All of you are spending money with Google to drive people to your websites, and if you're not, you should experiment with it. Facebook is giving it to you for free, okay? Pay per click is now free viral clicks. It's what we call the branded viral loop, which we've been talking about for about 1.5 years since they launched the Open Graph. And so these small hooks, if you just take what's the anatomy of just that one poll, okay? Now this will vary depending on the content and how you optimize it, and it's still about the content. 43,000 people, if they vote, you're going to get 30 to 50% of the people sharing it back to Facebook. They're already logged in, so they're going to do it. Okay, 150 friends each. The potential reach from that one tiny poll, which is a throwaway piece of content on the website, is over 3 million people. So you're connected now, one click away to 3 million people. Ignoring those 3 million people is gross negligence, okay? Because it's basically free. And then if you can get 2 visits from every one that's actually posted, you're basically creating 43,000 new visits to the website. At $1 a click, which a lot of us are paying, that's $43,000 worth of traffic. Okay, if you're not doing it right now, you're throwing that away. And there's plenty of tools to do it. Doesn't matter how you do it. You could use plugins, you could use premium apps, you could build your own apps, but the idea of recirculating those actions is a really, really powerful one that we're seeing every day. And the third thing I want to talk about is, driving traffic's going to make you money, which is both number 1 and 2, and there's monetization opportunities there as well. But how do you think of social as part of your business system and not a silo? So how do you do social as part of everything versus a marketing function at what you do? So I think we've all seen the Facebook effect. That was a great interview right there. We know that traffic from Facebook is increasing. Okay, I have many more Twitter followers than Facebook kind of friends. Twitter is great. Facebook's turning into just gold in terms of being able to generate engagement for both the company and for me personally. So we all do a lot of different things. So print a magazine or a website, and we're doing microsites and special sites. We're Facebook pages and all this viral stuff. So we have to think about eliminating all those silos, okay? A lot of people in our organizations, I build a website. I manage our Facebook page. How do we create that business system is what this is about. Now, one of the better examples that I've seen is Cosmopolitan. This is an example I haven't been involved with. We have done some work there, but I just admired this from a distance, which is, Kisses for the Troops. Typically, that would be, let's build a microsite and let's sell some sponsorships to Maybelline, and let's basically make money from it, but not really grow traffic or build anything of value. And this, I think, is going to be a long-term tentpole program. So Kisses for the Troops, the idea is that basically you're sending postcards to the troops. And so, their event business, it's tied into, and they're using that content, for content for the magazine and the website. Their Facebook page, you can actually go in and, send a kiss. And it's throughout their Facebook page, which has as of earlier this week, over 1 million people. And then they have apps. So the apps, they build it once. What's so funny? Oh yeah, I forgot that. Then I sent this to the troops. Hopefully they don't go AWOL after they get it. You build an app once, and now that Facebook is iframes within the Canvas page, you can build apps once and use them anywhere, okay? So whatever you build, don't build for your Facebook page. Build because it's a tentpole program, and then take it to the next level. Then obviously the social hooks here, both within Facebook and outside of Facebook, having that, the spreading is huge. Now, I love bonobos. These are bonobos. I usually wear the red pants when I speak at Mashable events. They were dirty from Halloween, so I couldn't wear them. You buy from bonobos, and they're saying, hey, here's $50 to give to your friends, and if they buy, not only they get $50 free, but you get $50, right? It's like social commerce. You go to one of the better social players in our space, People, okay? People Magazine, doing great things in social. This is like 1921 magazine marketing, right? Like get 4 issues free and the Super Bowl phone, right? Like everything you do from membership, subscription should be social. And, not having social integration is huge. Sell social. So when you look at how Mashable does it, we're a sponsor. I'm putting this on not because of Buddy Media. We sponsor their awards. And we've grown our audience because Mashable puts us integrated into everything they do. And it's not just kind of big banners and buttons. It's actually helping us grow our audience as the advertiser. In this case, Buddy Media is the advertiser, and they charge for that. So Hearst, 1 out of 4 subscriptions come from the website. Okay, 1 out of 4 subscriptions come from the website. American Eagle is showing that people are spending more when they come from Facebook. 57% more when they come from Facebook. And ShoeDazzle, Facebook Connect users are gold for them. If they can get someone to connect through Facebook, these are people who are just buying a lot more. And then Ticketmaster, every share to Facebook is generating $5 of incremental revenue for the business. So that's real revenue. And so everything you do from a monetization standpoint, kind of think about. So the question you need to ask is, how can social improve everything that drives the needle for your business? What are your KPIs? How do you use social to drive them? And rather than doing social in a silo, make it part of everything you do. As Facebook says, social by design, okay? Social isn't everything. It's not one thing. It's a 1%. It's part of everything you do, whether it's traffic, engagement, subscriptions, anything you do on your site. And ultimately what happens is as you engage, you build up a network. And I think right now we're in a world where Disney, their Facebook network, 234 million connections just on Facebook across the business. That is a parallel media asset, like cable, like web, like magazine. Okay, so think of it as building assets and not just doing Facebook marketing. So that's it. Thanks.